Preparing for Trump, a mercantilism checkpoint. Quote, Mexico needs to produce more than it consumes, end quote. Mexican Finance Minister Ramirez. What is this? Checkpoint and mercantile behavior as a starting point for understanding geopolitical implications of Trump's presidential plans for a self-sufficient, fortress-like America. Bullet 2. Those plans are embodied in recent seemingly throwaway statements aspiring to annex Canada, buy Greenland, reclaim Panama, and to eventually reconvert Brazil after making landfall in Argentina last year. Chapter 1. Mercantilism Revisited. For the past 3 years, and perhaps more, almost every governmental behavior and policy change has been explained by one overriding concept: mercantilism. Now is a good time to restate what mercantilism is. Getting a textbook definition out of the way, mercantilism emphasizes the importance of a favorable balance of trade and strong governmental control over economic activities to increase national power and wealth. Mercantilism is a transitional economic ideology first implemented post-feudalism's collapse, and until recently have been shrinking in use as a more globalist type of trade flourished. Now it has become useful again as globalized economies struggle to remain somewhat friendly toward each other as globalism recedes. Mercantilism has a stigma attached to it. Chapter 2, don't use the M word. Legacy press will still not dare use that word, for it incorrectly connotes bullionism. But we did and continue to write about it in this space as objectively as can be done. To that point, several previous works on the topic are at bottom, including our January 2022 public declaration of it as the returning economic model governing global trade. So what is it at its core? Chapter 3, what is mercantilism? Mercantilism, for purposes here, is a trade philosophy that permits global trade in a less cooperative world. It came about as the world started to rebuild into nation states after Roman Empire collapse. Following the fall of Rome, Europe was divided into local and regional political and economic entities, each politically functioning and economically surviving in high degrees of isolation from each other. This was feudalism, a result of the first time globalism collapsed. However, that began to change in the 15th century. From how mercantilism brought Europe's fragmented economy together. However, beginning in the 15th and 16th centuries, forces came into play that began to reverse this. Kings and princes were determined to concentrate power in their own hands as absolute rulers, which meant reducing the power at the local and regional levels. Mercantilism developed in the emerging nation states under the kings, especially in France, Spain, and Great Britain, as a set of economic tools to assist in bringing about the centralization of political power and control. Thus, mercantilism is the name given to a system of trade where trust between trade partners is greater than what feudalism's collapse, little trust, was, but less than under globalism. As such, it is considered a transitional economic ideology. Gold or some other hard currency is used to preserve receding trust, dropping down from globalism.